norepinephrine. You wake up, down a cup of coffee, then by 2 p.m. you've crashed, your energy is in the shitter, and you also don't sleep that night. Well, my friends, if that was you, I just described, make sure you watch to the end because I'm gonna give you my 10 unexpected tips to increase your energy levels as a woman that are also science-backed. Contrary to the popular belief, we are not just men with boobs. So we deserve our own playbook. Let's get into unexpected tip number 1. It's gonna be eating freaking breakfast. Not only eating breakfast, but having a protein heavy breakfast about 30 minutes after you wake up. A lot of you guys are probably fasting or drinking coffee on an empty stomach, and that is the worst thing for your energy levels and the exact reason why you're crashing at 2 p.m. So we need to get over this notion that eating more is going to make us gain weight, because it's the complete opposite. It's actually going to let your body and your stress levels and your cortisol come down. What happens in the morning is our cortisol peaks. And when you drink coffee on an empty stomach, it peaks even more. And hence why you crash later in the day. When you eat breakfast or eat even like a protein coffee, I have a huge love for protein coffee, or just using a protein shake as creamer in my coffee. And what that does is bring down our cortisol level that has spiked to get us up. And so we have more stable energy throughout the day. If you want some examples of what you can eat for breakfast that are balanced and high protein, comment breakfast in the comment section and I will send you a free ebook. Numero dos, drink your electrolytes, not just plain water, before your caffeine. So sometimes, especially for women, especially in certain phases of their cycle, we can get really dehydrated, and especially since you have spent the past 8 hours fasting and your body is depleted, you need electrolytes in the morning. And what that can look like is just some salt in your water. It can be an electrolyte pack. Make sure you look at the label because some of those are riddled with sugar, which is not something that we want to have first thing in the morning, and it's kind of contradicting. The one I like to use is called Insulted. They're native to Vancouver and I'm actually affiliated with them because I absolutely love their product. The ratios of salt to magnesium to potassium is optimized for performance. So if you are an athlete or consider yourself an athlete, or even the regular Joe, it's great to have that throughout the day, or sip on a high potency electrolyte throughout the day just to make sure that your body is hydrated. And I will link I have a discount code. It will be in the description below. Third is for my fasted workout ladies. Do not work out on a fasted stomach, and also eat after your workouts. So when we work out in the morning, you remember me talking about cortisol peaking in the morning. And so when you do exercise, that is a physical form of stress and it's gonna further peak your cortisol levels. So rather than going straight into your fasted cardio or your fasted weight training, have a little something, something. Have an almond butter toast, have a protein bar, have a protein coffee. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. It just needs to be 15 grams of protein if you're strength training. And if you are doing any kind of cardio or endurance-based training, make sure you're having 30 grams of carbs and 15 grams of protein pre-workout. And then post-workout, we want to make sure that we are eating 15 grams of protein and a little bit of carbs just to make sure that our muscles are getting the nutrients that they need to grow. And piggybacking on the cortisol, we want to bring down our cortisol levels as fast as possible. So about the 30-minute window is where you want to have a little snack post-workout, just to make sure that your hormones are happy and you're not going to end up in hormonal mess. For if you're not already lifting weights, what are you doing on my channel? Secondly, lift weights for mitochondrial function. So what that means is when you lift weights and when you build muscle, you will have more energy and more stamina inherently. So strength training is not only for the muscle gain, it's not only for the toning, it's not only for the bone health and mental health and cognition and all of the other aspects that come along with strength training, but it's also for boosting energy level. Number 5, if you are a reproductive woman, cycle sync your coffee. So in the luteal phase, we are more sensitive to stress and also caffeine. It metabolizes slower in the luteal phase. you might find yourself a bit more fatigued. So to counter that, we want to make sure that our caffeine intake is limited and or you negate it completely. Obviously, I love my little cup of joe, so I typically wait till 10 a.m. So I've had my first meal, I've maybe had a snack, and then I'm having my coffee just for pleasure use. And then in your follicular phase, you're a lot more resistant to stress. So it's not as big of a deal if you are having your coffee or having a protein coffee in the morning. Your energy levels won't dip as heavily in your follicular phase as opposed to your luteal phase. 6, eat freaking carbs. Keto is out, my friends. That is way in the 2020s, the 2020, 2019s, 2015s. I don't know when it was created, but especially as women, I see so many ladies struggle with period irregularities, fatigue, all of these other biomarkers are depleting, and people are only doing keto just for the weight loss purposes, which is absolutely ridiculous. And in reality, carbs are needed not only for your brain, for energy, but it can also lead to low T3, which is your high thyroid function, and also low energy. Some of my favorite carbs to include in my day-to-day diet is potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice cakes, sourdough bread, couscous, quinoa. You get the gist. Hack number 7 is a sleep hack. Take magnesium glycinate, not citrate, that's a diuretic, before bed, about 300 milligrams, and that will help you sleep deeper, sleep more soundly. It'll also help with PMS symptoms, also help with muscle cramping, blood sugar regulation, and you will wake up more refreshed. Sleep is the biggest hack for energy levels. If you're not sleeping right, there is absolutely nothing you can do, no hack in the world that will help you. So make sure that you are sleeping well, and this is just gonna help you get that restful, deep sleep. 8 is cold exposure. So cold exposure, aka like cold showers, cold plunges, can increase your norepinephrine, which is a natural energy boosting hormone. And it also supports your nervous system. So maybe like a 30 to 60 second cold shower just to boost your energy, or you can also do that face plunge. I know that's a viral thing about that guy and his morning routine, but have a cold bowl of water with some ice in it and just do 30-second increments of cold exposure to your face, and that can just boost your energy, wake you up in the morning. Number 9 is eat iron-rich foods, especially during your period. Women are the most susceptible to low iron during their period because you are losing a lot of blood, and iron is pivotal for energy levels. Low iron equals low oxygen transport and low energy. So try things like red meat, lentils, spinach, and also adding in some vitamin C so that iron is absorbed a lot better in your digestive system. Okay, you've done all these steps. Now it's 3 p.m. and you're still crashing. What do? Here is step 10 that is going to increase your energy levels during that 3 p.m. slump. So naturally your cortisol levels are going to dip around 3 p.m. Pair that with low blood sugar and you have the worst energy levels in the world. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have a snack mid-afternoon. 3 p.m. you're gonna get a protein source, you're gonna get a carb source and a fat source, and that's gonna help boost your energy, especially if you do have an after work workout or something. It is really important that you do have that snack mid-afternoon. Fruit and hummus, cottage cheese and fruit, toast and peanut butter, banana and protein shake. The possibilities for a snack are literally endless, and just make sure that you are building it around the protein source, and that's gonna help balance your blood sugar. It's gonna help lower your cortisol levels and have that stable energy for the rest of the day. And it's also important to note too, like your energy is supposed to dwindle down. And as a recovering type A go-go-goer, I always expect myself to be the same productivity as in the morning as I am at 2 p.m. when that's just really not a really realistic thing. So another bonus tip that I'm gonna give you guys is front stack your day in terms of work. So the work that takes the most cognitive function, front load it in the start of your day when you are most cognitively there and you have the highest energy, and save more of the admin tasks, data entry, whatever that may look like in terms of your field of work to the end of the day. So you're not having to use a lot of focus, you're not going to use a lot of creativity. And so you can structure your day that way, which will help with your workload and focus. There you have it, folks. You are no longer allowed to complain to me that you have no energy and you're fatigued all the time, because these 10 tips are definitely going to help you out. If you want more of them, make sure you like, subscribe, comment on this video, and in the meantime, appreciate you so freaking much. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all the things, and I will see you in the next one.